Hello everybody and welcome to the Derek Ruby Show. Now, artificial intelligence is making a buzz all over the place, more commonly known to you as AI. Programs such as Discord and Google and all kinds of other applications are constantly bombarding you with brand new AI bots. Now, before we get started, I want to say I love technology. My first video game console was a ColecoVision with an Atari 2600 adapter, and now I play PlayStation and Xbox, and technology has grown and I love it. So I have no issues with technology getting better. But when it comes to AI, somebody has to ask, what are the consequences of AI? What are the ramifications? So let's get into it. Now, one of the consequences of AI is people will inevitably lose their jobs. I was recently watching Asmongold react to a CNBC video about fast food workers losing their jobs to robots. Now, all I have to say about this is it's part of progress. People have been losing their jobs to technology for years. We don't make railroads the way we used to. We don't even travel the way we used to. In my opinion, when you go to McDonald's in the next 20 years or so, you're only going to have two workers there. You're going to have the hardware guy and the software guy. Everything else is going to be a robot. They'll probably never get your order wrong unless you make the mistake, and it's going to save these companies lots of money. Unfortunately, that's just par for the course. You're going to have a robot that works open to close, never takes breaks, never complains, never calls in, and never asks for vacation. Now, I don't know what McDonald's or Burger King pays fast food workers, 10, 20 grand a year, but you multiply that by 20 employees and then you multiply that by all the locations and you save a shit ton of money. I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying that. Honestly, things get easier for mankind with technology. Time marches on, and there's always going to be other jobs for people to do. I would much rather my kid work at a hardware store than a McDonald's anyway, not knocking anybody who works fast food, but it's a foregone conclusion that things like this are going to change. Now let's talk about the big one, AI-generated art. Recently, a bunch of artists have filed a class action lawsuit against a lot of the AI art programs out there because the programs are sampling their work and then creating stuff based off that work. Now, I'm not debating whether it's right or wrong for them to sue. I think it is within their right to do so. I'm not personally trying to throw shade. I actually do use AI art programs because they're fun. Now, when I use these programs, sometimes I get pretty good results. I told it to make Emma Frost. It did a pretty decent job. I told it to make Cardi B. It's pretty good. But sometimes I tell it to make other things and it doesn't quite know what it's doing. Now, the question has to be asked. Will these AI programs affect artists' livelihood? I don't know the answer. That's for the courts to decide. But it's not just art either. Artificial intelligence is great at mimicking and creating all kinds of stuff out there. Well over a year ago, they made a Nirvana song called Drowning in the Sun, where the program analyzed Nirvana songs and it created its own. If you go to some of the videos that actually have comments on them, you will see people say stuff like, "This is my favorite Nirvana song and it's not even Nirvana." Now, is Nirvana gonna lose sales because an AI program made a song of theirs? Probably not. But let's say you're an aspiring young rapper or guitar player and you have numerous songs on SoundCloud, and a record company can just sample your music and have an AI create something that sounds just as good. What are they gonna need to sign you for? And this applies to all forms of media out there. I mean, if I can tell a program, write a Stephen King book about werewolves in Baltimore, and it can do it in a matter of minutes, then why would I need Stephen King for? Especially if I can tell it, write me 10 Stephen King books, and in a few minutes, I have a bunch of bestsellers. Even the film industry, I imagine that contracts are going to be renegotiated in the future. I know a lot of you have seen Mandalorian, where they put Luke Skywalker in there. It's not even Mark Hamill talking. It's samples of voice recordings from that time period. Now, who's to say all the big companies won't get together and say, when you work for us, You sign your likeness and voice and everything away. And if you don't like it, I guess you won't work nowhere. There's always a possibility that something like that could happen. Say somebody quits a show or gets fired. Or what if they die? Well, a lot of these movie studios may not actually need you anymore. They could get rid of you and just replace you. But that's why I think this lawsuit is very important, because the courts need to establish what the rights of artists are and what's fair game and what's not. But remember, just because some artists win a court case in America doesn't mean it's going to apply everywhere. Japan has its own copyright laws. The EU has their own copyright laws. Even their individual countries do. Great Britain. And do you really think that China or Russia or any of those kind of countries are going to enforce US copyright law? I doubt it. So there's always going to be a possibility that your work may be copied, interpreted, and stolen. Then we have to ask questions like, is artificial intelligence dumbing down society? Recently, South Park did an episode on ChatGPT. In fact, ChatGPT even helped them write the episode. In case you don't know, ChatGPT is an AI bot that's supposed to help reinforce learning. You can ask it lots of questions and it can do all kinds of things. And the whole premise of the episode is kids are using it to cheat on their schoolwork because that's actually a real thing. Not to mention, somebody has to program these AI bots. Somebody has to go in there and give it parameters. So if they have certain political beliefs, they can probably manipulate the bot to think the way they want it to. And what is a kid to think? Hey, a really advanced computer told me this is how it's supposed to be. Why should I question it? Now that's not to say it's completely wrong. I mean, we're all kind of robots. Every time you have a question, you look it up on Google. All I'm saying is, hey parents, make sure you teach your kids to take things with a grain of salt, research it, and think for themselves. Now, besides all that, there are AI voice-changing programs out there. I'm sure many of you have seen videos of Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Obama, Ben Shapiro doing their anime tier list or playing video games, talking about Kanye West or whatever other pop culture thing. And some of them are really good and really spot on.
Hypothetically, if you found a death note, would you use it? I would use it to kill every troll that calls my wife's vagina dry personally.
Ben, we would all obviously use it. You can just take out anyone who annoys you, and we'd all get away with it because we were presidents and are cool guys.
And yeah, that stuff's funny. Nobody's gonna believe Samuel L. Jackson is ranking his top 10 anime of all time on YouTube. However, one should ask, what if somebody uses that AI program, gets a sample of your voice, calls your boss, cusses them out, and quits? Then you come to work and your boss doesn't believe that it wasn't you. Then what? Now you have some very malicious situations because you literally can go in there and sample anybody's voice and train it. So I'm just saying, while it's cool technology and it's fun, there could be some serious consequences for the average person from some really bad assholes out there. Moving on from voice changers, let's talk about deepfake videos. There are a lot of deepfake videos out there. I saw this story on the New York Post website about a streamer named Sweet Anita. And all you have to do is listen to the beginning of her video, and that's all that needs to be said.
My safety, my day-to-day life, my whole career has been completely turned upside down and probably irreparably changed by this. Someone put my face onto porn and sold it.
Now, Sweet Anita's video is primarily about a streamer named Atrioc. Now, he accidentally shared a screenshot of a bunch of streamers in deepfake porn. Now, some people might not think this is a big deal, but from what I understand, the way the technology has gotten, it can be very believable. So if you are a streamer or celebrity and you have sponsors, and those sponsors for some reason believe that that's you, you could lose that sponsorship. And I'll take it even a step further. What about the average person? If somebody deepfakes a video about you, your whole town could think you're a pariah. You could end up going to court and losing a custody battle over your children. Do you think some little town in a state like Montana is going to have experts in the courtroom to say, oh yeah, it's obviously fake? Probably not. And that's just a tip of the iceberg. Perhaps maybe the job you work for sees this video, gets alerted to it, and they believe it. Now you're jobless, in the unemployment line. Putting people in a deep fake porn video is wrong, no matter how you look at it. If you do that without their consent, and they have nothing to do with that industry, that is just wrong. It can ruin their livelihoods. It can cause them lots of personal problems. And honestly, there's no justification for that. But let's talk about the legal ramifications of a deepfake video. In this country, in America, you have to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Well, let's say you have a really savvy lawyer and he's able to create that doubt. If he convinces one juror that videotape evidence of a crime could have been fabricated, then guess what? A criminal could get off. By contrast to that, what if somebody just wants to frame you for a crime? You're sitting at your house, they create a video in the area where your cell phone's pinged at, call the police, accuse you of committing a crime, and now you have to prove that that video's fake and that you didn't do it. So that could be a malicious person, that could be a government, that could be anybody. And now you have to go to court and prove that you didn't commit a crime. Just the idea of that is scary. Now you might think that's a little ridiculous. Have you seen some of the deepfake videos out there? They're getting better and better and better. In fact, I would go so far to say that it could get so bad that eventually videotape evidence might not be admissible in court, or it'll be always looked at and scrutinized. And that's not a good thing. It's really not. How many people are going to get away with doing stuff because of this? Or how many people are going to get put away for doing nothing at all? It's just a reality. There are not so nice people in the world. And as technology gets better, you have to be on your guard more and more. It's already illegal in several states to make deepfake videos like that. But as time goes on, other countries and other places are going to have their own laws. I mean, I don't know, if you go somewhere on vacation, like let's say Uzbekistan, and China issues a warrant for your arrest and they arrest you and send you over there. I mean, you don't know what the consequences of that might be if you made a deepfake video. But I imagine it's not going to be very good. Plus, here's the thing that nobody seems to even think about. All we see that's available for AI is what we can search for now. Who knows what governments and big tech companies actually have access to? The AIs they probably have access to are a lot more sophisticated than what we can find on Google. So again, I love technology, and I didn't make this video because I want to scare anybody. But I do think raising awareness is important. Thinking about these consequences are important. So my appeal would be to the big tech companies. Police yourselves. Years ago with Mortal Kombat and other video games, they were called before Congress, and Congress basically told them, police yourselves or we're going to police you. So I would say to the big tech companies, that's what you need to do. Get together, make some industry standards. That way if some other company comes up through a Kickstarter or something and some weird shenanigans is going on, we all know who to look at. Because if you don't, yeah, it's going to be great for you for probably about a decade. It's going to be the Wild West. And what's going to happen as more and more things pop up, these governments are going to overreact and they're going to overregulate you. And they're going to ruin AI for everybody. So just police yourselves, that's all. And if you're the average person on the street, remember, AI can be helpful. Technology is great, but just don't rely on it for everything. And just one more final thought before I sign off.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Thank you guys for watching the incredible, tremendous, and sometimes sexy Derek Ruby Show. Good night.